One thing many South Africans have in common is a little scar on our upper arm, an immunization scar. But what is an immunization, and why do we immunize our children at regular intervals when they are young? To help answer these questions, I have Dr. Darren Green, a yourparenting.co.za editor, Sophia Swanepoel. Welcome to Doctor's Orders. And our very own Dr. Lorata Masimola. Welcome once again.
Thanks, Rio.
Now, Darren, I don't know if you know about the story where Louis Pasteur was actually seeing a child with rabies, and the child asked what the vaccine does.
Yes.
And he said that it was actually like injecting soldiers into your bloodstream.
In 1885, vaccines were explained as injecting soldiers into the body. These soldiers would then fight and kill all the harmful germs. This was after Louis Pasteur successfully administered the first rabies vaccine to a 9-year-old boy named Joseph Meister, who had been bitten by a rabid dog.
Get all the germs. There's one more yet. Kill him. Chest out, stomach in. Gotta be a kind of soldier.
Could you actually explain a little bit about what immunization or vaccination exactly is?
Yeah, I actually remember that. I had the book.
You had the book as well?
I had the book. Technically, from a medical point of view now, an immunization actually refers to preparing your immune system for the attack of that foreign organism,
yes,
or the attacking infection. So what we actually are doing with an inoculation or a vaccine is we are injecting part of that infective organism or particle, yes, into a human being,
yes,
for your own immune system then to develop an immune response to that and prepare for an onslaught or a greater attack later on.
So your body actually has its own soldiers. What you are actually doing with a vaccine is giving the body or the soldiers a picture or a photograph or some sort of preparation manual for the disease to help them fight the disease better.
That's right. It puts it on the hit list.
Yeah. And what are the most common diseases that are vaccinated against in South Africa?
In South Africa, we have our extended program of immunization that, the government, everybody has to get those, is polio.
Yeah, that's the one
on the arm. Yes.
Right.
And then you get diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis.
Yes.
Okay.
Whooping cough.
Yes, that's the pertussis. And then you get the Haemophilus influenza and hepatitis B.
Yeah.
And then later on, when the child's a bit older, they get measles as well.
Yeah. So there are many different types of vaccines.
Yeah.
Which ones are actually necessary and which ones aren't? Is the National Immunization Register.
That's the necessary one.
And I know it's very different to how it was when
Yes.
I was growing up and how it is now. There's so much more.
It's so much more, but it's also much more simpler. You don't get many injections, or you get that gun with little needles and that funny mark on your arm.
Yes.
They now have like a 6-in-1.
Did an Indian come up with that? 6 vaccines for the price of one.
All in one.
So how do you make the decision about whether to immunize or not?
Well, take for example in the rural areas, even before the child is born,
Yeah.
the mothers are given tetanus.
Yes.
Because it's issues of sterility and cleanliness. If the child's born far away from the hospital, on the road or at home, the child can get tetanus. So
Yeah.
they are given tetanus while still in the uterus.
Yes.
Okay? So in certain areas, rotavirus is prevalent.
And
again, rotavirus is one of those viruses you get from, it's those cleanliness issues.
Yes.
But I mean, if your child gets given rotaviral vaccine, it doesn't mean that you're dirty.
Yes.
Kids can get dirty and they can get germs from other people
and
as
that's
well.
the virus causing the diarrhea.
The diarrhea,
right?
and devastating diarrhea, where children can actually die from dehydration,
Yes.
where they can't even correct the electrolyte imbalances.
So it's very beneficial in certain areas.
Yeah.
But
I would say everywhere, because I live in the city,
Yes.
and even some of our editors and some of my friends' kids have gotten rotavirus.
But
Just a few months ago, there was a really bad rota going around, and most kids.
But there's a huge controversy around which immunizations you take and whether you take immunizations at all. There's a strong move for people not to take vaccinations, and people avoid things, especially like MMR, because of the fear of autism and just disagreeing with the concept of vaccinations in general.
A lot of people are going into the school of thought of natural immunity.
Yes.
Hoping that your exposure to environmental bacteria, viruses and so forth must develop if you're feeding your children properly and and you're giving them sustained good nutrients that the immune system will naturally develop.
Yes.
The problem comes in, as Loretta also alluded to earlier, with the masses, malnutrition, areas where there's poverty and poor sanitation. Those areas particularly are very susceptible to the overwhelming lifestyle or congestive lifestyle diseases like TB, for example.
Sophia, what do they actually say? What do the moms actually say on your magazine, on the comments section, or in the comments section about why they avoid vaccines?
Our mums are really very vocal. Mostly they're all pro-vaccinations.
Yes.
But there is this contingency who also feels that they're doing the right thing for their child.
Yes.
But they feel that there might be harmful ingredients
In the vaccines.
in the vaccines, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there.
Yes.
I mean, just start Googling and you'll find anything. You'll find
Okay.
proof for the existence of alien matter.
Inside
In the vaccine.
We've seen that.
Okay.
So
That's
really,
very interesting.
so be careful of Googling,
Okay.
mums. Speak to your pediatrician. Make sure that you get proper medical journal information. So in the end, there's really no scientific reason why you should doubt immunity.
And what about autism? What is the...
Yes.
That was, yeah.
Unproven.
It's
Yeah.
unproven. Yeah, there are a group of people that have looked at small groups showing an association, whether that's by coincidence or whether it's actually evidence-based and a weighted study, that remains to be seen,
Yes.
of people that have had vaccines versus those that haven't, and the incidence of
Autism.
developing autism
In those people.
Yeah, my comment on that obviously is also quite important. You know, the actual neurobiological basis of autism still remains today a massive field of research.
It's not
worldwide.
understood,
It's not
autism.
understood. We don't have all the facts about
Yes.
exactly what causes the disease, and I think there are many factors. It's just sad that you would put your child at risk of a death or a killing disease for not developing autism, which is such a minor percentage worldwide.
Now, there's a clear school of thought where people are actually against immunizations. Now, why should people actually immunize? What do you say to those people?
Well, short and simple.
Yes.
There was smallpox, now there isn't. So
Yes.
to eradicate
Smallpox didn't just leave on a holiday, decided to go somewhere.
No, it didn't. So to eradicate fatal diseases and also to prevent those that are still currently with us. And we hardly see polio, okay, except for there's a new outbreak, just Sophia earlier,
Yes.
in New York. And I mean, you know,
Why is there a new outbreak?
of polio? Because maybe people are not immunizing their kids. I mean,
Yes.
we're all into this new age natural immunity. Do you want your child to be the one to suffer the devastating complications of polio?
You really don't want to see your child die a long and miserable death because
Yeah.
you didn't want to see them cry during immunization. And also, it's to protect the others. There's lots of kids out there who can't get immunized. They live too far away or they're too young.
If you don't immunize the older ones, you've got little ones, and the older one goes to creche and brings home measles.
Yes.
You know, and then your little 6-week-old who doesn't have any immunity has to now fight to this measles. And I mean, measles in children is devastating. You can get meningitis, pneumonia, and a host of other, you know, fatal illnesses.
And my final, just on the vaccine, parents are often afraid.
Yeah.
They don't know what the side effects are of the vaccine. So if
Yes.
they're well informed by their doctors, and what we should aim to do is inform them of developing fever maybe a day or two later, or the child being a bit irritable or sleeping poorly, that they're prepared for it, that it's not all new for them.
Yes.
You know, and obviously preparing them for exactly how the vaccination is going to be delivered.
Yes.
Before they're actually in the room holding their baby
Yes.
down. The trauma.
Because it's very traumatic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite, for a parent, it's quite traumatic. The child doesn't have a choice. You are making that choice on behalf of your children.
Yes.
And I think as a parent, you need to act responsibly and lessen the risk of fatal disease.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us on Doctor's Orders and for sharing your thoughts on vaccinations, why it's very important to give your body's defenses the best tools to fight disease. Maybe people should listen more to their pediatricians rather than Professor Google.